June 1983, Wayne McDonnell was tasked by the CIA to provide an assessment of the Gateway experience in terms of its mechanics and ultimate practicality. This top-secret document was declassified after 20 years in 2003, revealing some powerful techniques to synchronize both hemispheres of the brain. What was revealed in Wayne's assessment could be one of the most powerful techniques ever discovered in regards to vibration, the human energy field, and synchronization of the heart and brain. The particular technique we will be looking at today is called Hemi-sync, the synchronization of the left and right sides of the human brain, and how this technique can substantially raise one's vibration and be used as a powerful tool for manifestation. The Gateway experience is a training system designed to bring enhanced strength, focus, and coherence to the amplitude and frequency of brainwave output between the left and right hemispheres so as to alter consciousness, moving it outside the physical sphere, so as to ultimately escape even the restrictions of time and space. The participant then gains access to the various levels of intuitive knowledge which the universe offers.
When we are activating brain synchronization, where right and left hemispheres are engaged together simultaneously, it activates something like superlearning. With both hemispheres working together, we have much more superior characteristics of neural function. However, after age 7 and 8, we start to express what is called brain dominance. Meaning during the day, we don't have synchronization of both hemispheres. During the day, it's like a wave form. Sometimes we're more in the left hemisphere, sometimes we're more in the right, then it comes back to the left and back to the right. So that we're cycling through one hemisphere at a time. This is called brain dominance, where one hemisphere is dominant over the other hemisphere. Well, the relevance about that is integrating our lives is very difficult in brain dominance for a simple reason. As been suggested, our left hemisphere is based on logic and details. Our right hemisphere is actually associated with emotions and wholeness. And this becomes very important because if you're only looking with your left hemisphere, then all the logic things make sense, but there's no emotional component to it. And reverse, if you're in the right hemisphere, you get emotionally tied up, but the logic drops out. Well, this happens to us ever since the time we were 8 through our adult life. If you can get both hemispheres to be in sync, hemi-sync, then you're engaging logic and emotions at the same time. That opens up a window for super learning opportunities where you can download information very, very quickly and very fast, but it also opens up a whole wide range of thinking that includes an emotional component as well as an intellectual component, which is necessary to fulfill a whole picture. So if you're operating from brain dominance, you're actually shutting off one component of your nervous system.
Now a simple preparation. Because of the special audio techniques used, it's important that certain sounds reach your right ear and others your left ear. To be sure of this, you should be hearing my voice in your right ear at this moment. If you are not hearing my voice in your right ear, turn your headphones around now so that you are hearing my voice in your right ear. Your own coherent mind and brain, there are specific sounds you will hear, and it's important that you perceive how they work. This will demonstrate it. First, a tone in one ear. Notice that it is steady. It is even, without fluctuation. Now we will shut it off and place another slightly different tone in the other ear. Notice that it is also steady, even, without fluctuation. Now when I put the first tone back into the other ear, you will hear both at the same time. But there is a difference. You start to hear a wavering, a vibrato in the tone. When you hear this, your brain is beginning to act in unison. The two halves of your brain, the hemispheres, are starting to act and perform electrically as one unit. This is what is described as hemispheric synchronization, or Hemi-sync as we call it. This greater natural brain-mind power is what you will learn to use. So relax for a moment and explore this new feeling of Hemi-sync.
Hemi-sync uses binaural beats that take one frequency in one ear that slightly differs and a different frequency in the other. For instance, you can't hear 4 cycles per second, but you could hear 2000 and 2004, and your brain will interpolate that and produce what's called a binaural beat. And by adjusting the frequencies, you can induce specific brainwave states, some of which are very conducive for sleep, some for relaxation, some for increasing focus and attention, reducing pain. It has a lot of wonderful uses.
Just to build on to what Brian was mentioning before, there's quite a bit of science and research that's behind this binaural beat technology for several decades. First of all, we know that it goes from the ear to the superior alveolar nucleus on the other side, to the reticular activating system, and then the cortex. The cortex is where we become aware, and that's where the effect takes place. Now, there is also, interestingly enough, science that shows that there is a production of activity. In other words, if you were naive to the sound, and for the first time you hear theta waves, and I'll talk more about what the brainwave states are, but let's say you hear theta for the first time, you can have a much easier time getting into that state after even a single time of hearing it. Now, imagine what happens after 2 or 3 times. Actually, it's been measured, and the effect is so much stronger. You can reproduce it and reinforce it. After hearing it multiple times, you can turn it on and off as you wish.